Sup all, JC3 here, the baller of YouTube, the general. Welcome to Topic Tackle. My take for today is on why Paul George should be your next MVP. When you think about an MVP, what comes to mind first? Most points per game? Most dominant? Most valuable? Wait, how do we even quantify valuable? Is it pure statistics or does it involve more? Today on Topic Tackle, I'll go over why I'm all in to see OKC's Paul George go from PG to MVPG. The past two NBA seasons saw Russell Westbrook and James Harden win MVP for different reasons. The most likely reason why Westbrook won it in 2017 was because of his eye-popping stats. I mean, the man averaged a triple-double for the season and was the main reason why the Thunder were able to get the 6th seed in a difficult Western Conference. But then, he averaged a triple-double for the 2018 season, finished with a better record, and lost it to former teammate James Harden because, let's be real, he was due. And that's not a knock on Harden at all, and I think we tend to forget how good his team was last season as they finished with the best record in the association and were one game away from making the NBA Finals. So, how do we quantify all qualifications for MVP? What I've noticed recently is that it comes down to three main categories: team success with and without you, statistics, and the word that the media loves, narrative. These three categories provide us with three legitimate candidates for the 2019 MVP, being Giannis, Harden, and PG. Let's just go category by category to see who has the edge. Beginning with team success with and without you. This can be quantified as a simple on-off court summary. How it looks in late February is this: the Thunder's net rating is plus 10.4 with George on the floor as opposed to minus 11.2 when he's on the bench. That's a 21.6 point swing. Compared to Giannis and Harden, the difference between their on and off court net ratings is only 9.7 and 1.3. This is huge when we discuss the value that a player adds to their team when he is playing and how much value they lose when he isn't. I feel like people will try to take away credit from a candidate because of who they play with, and out of the three, PG has the superstar teammate in Russell Westbrook. Still, the difference in Westbrook's net rating is only 7.2, so PG has been the bigger factor in winning this season for OKC. Next, we have to look at the basic stat lines along with team standings. Here are all three's basic stats as of late February, and I must say, George's stat line, albeit solid, doesn't jump off the page like Giannis or Harden's. Something that does matter though is the defensive side of the ball, which makes PG arguably the best two-way player in the league next to Kawhi Leonard and the most versatile player who's a candidate for MVP. George leads the league in steals per game at 2.3, and while Harden averages more deflections, George leads the league in loose balls recovered per game at 2.2. PG is a legitimate defensive player of the year candidate, and when someone can guard the best player, then turn around and score near 30 a night, that guy is MVP worthy. The Bucks currently have the best record in the league, while the Thunder are ahead of the Rockets in the West. Finally, narrative comes into play. This is the most subjective category, but it must be considered because if it wasn't, LeBron would win MVP every year that he didn't pull his groin. George was a rising star that we knew was on the come up in Indiana, then he suffered a gruesome injury in 2014. Now, near 5 years since the injury occurred, George is at the top of his game on both sides of the court. It really is a feel-good story, and you can't help but root for him. Compared to Giannis, who is still really young and will have another chance to win MVP, and Harden, who brought attention to the race when he mouthed, "I'm two-time," back in January after burying the Warriors, PG has the best narrative behind him for this award. One last point I want to key in on is how each candidate has performed against each other so far this season. PG's Thunder have the upper hand on Harden's Rockets, winning 2 out of 3 matchups so far. PG outperformed Harden in the first matchup back in November as the Thunder won 98-80. The plus-minus really jumps out in that one. On Christmas Day, Harden got his revenge with a monster performance as the Rockets won 113-109. He was the best player on the court that day, but it's not like he buried PG on the stat line. Their most recent matchup was February 9th, where the Thunder overcame a 20-plus point deficit on the road to beat the Rockets 117-112. PG had a huge night and made a lot of big shots down the stretch to seal the game. His plus-minus was again much better than Harden's. And who can forget the All-Star game when PG went right at Harden multiple times with his own move? He was trying to make a statement out there, going between the legs to the crossover to the step back three. How does it feel? And against Giannis on January 27th, PG-13 changed to rated R when he put the Greek Freak on a poster in clutch time. This is when you can begin to feel the momentum building for his MVP campaign. His double-double performance with a plus 16 beat out Giannis and the Bucks as the Thunder took the game 118-112. Just so you know too, the Thunder's last two games are at home against the Rockets on April 9th and on the road at the Bucks on April 10th. It's like the NBA knew it would come down to this. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Who is your 2019 NBA MVP? And remember to subscribe, like, leave your feedback, comments down below. We'll be back with more Topic Tackle coming soon. JC3 out.